Declaration of Independence states that all men are created equal and they have certain unbreakable rights. One of these rights is liberty. However, these rights does not apply to the black people, or firstly, they did not apply to the black people. This interview will focus on the American dream and the African Americans. Does the dream still exist? Has it ever existed? Or is the dream yet to come true? To discuss this topic, we have Morten, Sophia, and Sille in the studio. Sophia, what do you think the American dream? How do you think the American dream can still be alive in a country based on slavery, where approximately 6 to 7 million slaves were imported, suppressed, and forced into hard manual labor?
Well, as Sarah Houston, a very key person in the Harlem Renaissance, writes in How It Feels to Be Colored Me, an essay. She writes, slavery is a price I paid for civilization and the choice was not with me. So she says it was the white man's choice to include her in the American dream, but nonetheless she wasn't included in it, as she was brought to a different kind of civilization. And in that way the American dream is still alive, because the slavery worked as a sort of means to an end, to ensure the next generation's successes, or the next generation's successes, as they were freed from slavery. So the entire debate actually comes down to the question of whether a Negro was a person that was included in these rights that they were born with, and that's what they ended up discussing in this time, and that's what led to the Civil War.
On the contrary, the essay How It Feels to Be Colored Me portrays the fact that the American dream is dead for most of the African Americans. And when Sarah is saying it is exclusively a colored town, the only white people I knew passed through the town going to or coming from Orlando. The native whites rode dusty horses. The northern tourists tracked down the sandy village road in automobiles. So she describes how the African Americans, they're separated from the white society, and this indicates that they are also excluded from the American dream. And in the 1800, the slaves were moving from the south to the north, while they sought for better rights and also for a better life in the north. And when they were doing this, they were trying to change themselves because they were seeking for the American dream. And when you have to seek for something you haven't, then the American dream isn't there, and therefore the American dream is dead, while the people have to change themselves and develop for to gain this American dream. Yes. So I do not think this text portrays the American dream as true, since the people, the black people and the society that they are living in are exclusive from the white people, and it was the white people who made the Declaration of the Declaration of Independence, which said that all people were equal and had the same rights, and therefore it's mostly the white people's dream. What is your opinion on this?
Well, I agree with what Sille said, that the dream is not alive as it is supposed to be, that the dream is basically dead, but it can be reawakened, and there is still hope for the dream, as it is shown in the poem written by Langston Hughes, which is called Let America Be America Again, where he says that, where a quote from the poem says, "And yet I swear this oath, America will be," where he discusses the differences between the upper class and the lower class in the society, where the upper class is taking the upper class is blaming the lower class for not doing what they are actually doing. The lower class has made America to what it is, but the upper class states that they have done nothing. And this difference in opinion can be related to the Civil War, where the southern states thought that slavery was a good thing for the country, but the northern states thought that it was bad for the country. And when they were to expand to the west, there came this clash in opinions.
And from this you can see there's a sort of different hope and maybe a different set of dreams between the different cultures, and that, exactly that Hurston comments on in how it feels to be colored me when she writes. She's in a jazz club and she's listening to jazz music, and she comments on the whites' reaction to this music. She writes, "He's far away and I see him, but dimly across the ocean and the continent that have fallen between us. He's pale with his whiteness, and I am so colored." So she feels like she gets another dimension of this music, and she understands it in a different way. So in a way, just as the whites look down upon the blacks, well, the other thing is happening as well. The blacks look down upon the white people because this different is created between the different cultures, and that in turn creates different dreams.
Yeah, and even though the dreams can be different from person to person, it's still a dream, which means that there's still hope for us, even though the dream might not exist yet, it can still come true.